Okay, so the first thing I need to do is show you an equation for a cubic polynomial function. This is the polynomial function that I chose, x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. And it's cubic because one of the exponents, the highest exponent, is to the third power, which is cubed. And it's already in standard form because it goes from the highest exponent down to the lowest exponent. The second thing I needed to do was show you the end behavior for the function if a is greater than 0. So automatically we know that a is greater than 0 for the function that I gave you, which is right here, x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. We know that a is greater than 0 because we know that a is equal to 1 and 1 is greater than 0. The reason we know that 1 is a, that a is equal to 1, is because since there's nothing originally in front of the x cubed, we know that it can't be 2 or 3 or 4 because it would say 2x cubed, 3x cubed, 4x cubed, but it doesn't. And we know that it can't be 0 because it would say nothing. The x cubed wouldn't even be there. So we can automatically assume that that's a 1. Now, what do we know about the number 1? We know that it's odd and we know that it's positive. So if we go to this little chart thing, which you need to kind of know to know end behaviors of a graph of a polynomial function, I think, something like that. So looking at this graph, we know that it's an odd number, so we're going to go down to odd, and then we're going to go to positive. And then we see that the end behavior goes down and then up. And here's the graph of that function. You can see that it starts going downwards, or into the negatives, and then it follows it and then goes up. So the next thing I need to do, or the last thing, is explain how the end behavior would change if a was less than 0. So instead of just picking a different function and making it all confusing, I kind of just did the same thing, except instead of leaving it as a 1, I made it a negative 1. So it's the same thing except with a negative at the front. So negative x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. So once again, we know that that has to be a 1 there because if it would say if it was a 2 or a 3 or a 4, and if it was a 0, then it wouldn't even be there. The x cubed wouldn't be there. So since it's a negative 1, what do we know about negative 1? We know that it's odd, and we know that it's negative. So going back to this chart, we go to the odds, and then we go to negative, and we see that that's going to go up and then down. And here's the graph for the cubic polynomial function, negative x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. And you can see that the end behavior for this is going to go up, down, because it goes up and then it goes down.